Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome. We're going here to the second part here of Burning Crowns today. How's it going? So, we return to Oleg's fort. Bring us over here, and so we're talking about a hunter going missing. We also wanted to talk about a scene between. Wait a second. So, do we want to see if Father Demetrius wants to talk to Mason? Do you want to do that?
You wanted to talk to Mason.
I
First?
do still want to talk to
All right,
Mason.
let's do that first. I want to do that first, and then I got something.
Um, well, this would probably happen like later at night.
You could, if you want to, you can go and find them now. I'm okay with it. It depends. Like, is it because you have a specific mood in mind for the scene?
Yeah, that's really what it is. Is like the mood I have in mind of the scene is like it's a nighttime type discussion.
Cool.
But so like if somebody else had stuff to do, I know that during the day for the main thing that Father Demetrius would be doing was trying to integrate the soldiers that he brought with the rest of the camp, and probably preaching to them and suddenly trying to convert them over time to his loyal and devout soldiers of Abadar.
Okay. So should that just be a roll?
Yeah, I'm I'm happy to have it be a scene or be a role. I mean, I can do some pontification.
Just describe kind of what it looks like, and then kind of set up your role.
I think what it is like he's just sort of spending time with the men, like he's making sure that Sir Zinomar is like helping them train and drill. He's probably even like, because a lot of them are archers. He's probably like archering with them.
I have a question for you about this though. That's kind of stepping on the toes of the 478th. That's
How so?
They were asked specifically to be trained. So Sir Gares was getting the training from the various bishops of the 478, but they weren't here for a
They're
little
gone.
bit.
Yeah.
Well, they're not here now.
Yeah, they're not here now either. Kesson
So,
is just training regularly.
Also, I was
just
talking
wanted to ask that. So, like, he's been kind of stepping in while they were gone, right? Like, I want to
Yes.
make sure
Right.
they were. So they weren't like you were trying to. It was no power
No.
play or anything. Like, okay, I was just trying to see before we got into stepping into. Okay, continue.
And I was talking more specifically about the bandits that I got on my side.
Yeah, he's talking
Okay.
about the 20 men that came.
Yeah, and basically like while I'm like doing the archery and like teaching them, I'm just like, because I have an instinct that is to just always have quote relevant religious parables. So like I'm probably like telling them stories of the ancient history and like the founding of great empires of man. And probably there's probably a lot of sort of like very uplifting, somewhat over the top kind of statements about how they're they're going to be remembered, and each of their names is going to be sort of part of these histories when we create this civilization in the Greenbelt. And he like very purposely, like in the same way that a priest knows the names of the people in his congregation so that he can, point to them in the crowd and
Yeah.
say, Jacob, or
Atticus Finch, the group. Yeah.
Exactly. He like makes a real point of doing that. And just generally preaching, like that's just like what he does, right?
All right. I'm gonna give you somewhat of a hard bargain here.
Okay,
And
sure.
ask you what you want to do here. This is what I will say, because I think the bandits, no longer bandits, but returning
Former
outlaws
bandits.
or whatever, trying to go legit. We can either do this two ways. I will either give you an advantage die on this roll, but preclude that the rest of the camp is not really appreciative of the bandits here, or I'm calling them the bandits for the statements here. They don't like that the bandits are here. They're going along with it because you guys are in charge, but there's certainly a sort of like animosity, like you don't sleep or eat with us kind of thing. Like you sleep, you stick to yourselves, and we can. So I'll either give you an advantage because you're kind of the only person kind of helping them here. I'll give you that, or you could have them be sort of like integrated a little bit, and that been kind of like smoothed over somewhat as you're bringing them. I'll give you. So that's a choice, right?
I want them to be not integrated because I want to turn them into my
own special.
I want them to turn them into the Faith Militant.
I get that. Okay. Which is good because a lot of these people are kind of soldiers with lost causes and such, and right. So yeah, that's totally fine. I just want to give you that kind of option to play with fictionally if you were wanted to go down a certain path here. Because I saw your beliefs and I was wondering.
And maybe that's what I'm doing with like the religious history is like I'm telling them stories of like these ancient orders of Abadarian knights. That like helped carve out these civilizations from the chaos.
Is there like a story of like the Dirty Dozen, or you know what I mean? like bandits reformed to Avatar being like the best serving or something. You know what I mean?
I think because
there's a story there.
Like there's in all these stories, because there are all these stories. I've kind of based the sort of Abadarian religion very heavily on kind of like a Judeo-Christian philosophy. And I'm sort of imagining that there's some sort of story that kind of echoes like Judah's conquest of Israel in the Old Testament. If people are familiar with what I'm talking about there.
Jericho and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like marching around the walls and the walls falling down. And so there are probably stories of, great knights and, people who founded these orders. I will come up with a good name for a like ancient order, and I'm probably telling them stories about it. Give me a second here.
Yeah, no.
Kind of move forward if you want from that.
Okay, no. This should just be a roll. I was just asking you a couple quick little like
I hear you. I definitely want to come up with that. But
yeah, no, I like this idea. This doesn't change the scene at all. No, this would just be a roll. Collectively, their will, I think, is as a whole, these guys are just like regular dudes, so probably 3 is fair.
A 3? Yeah, that seems reasonable. Okay. So I will roll suasion.
Your intention here, and just so I want to know how far this goes right now, because that's actually might change the obstacle. Is this just to get them is this to convert them, period, into this? Like, is this a one roll thing? Because then maybe the obstacle will be a little bit higher. But like, if you're trying to get like a part of that, it might be a lower obstacle. But then we might have to define what that is.
I mean, I don't think I'm trying to like turn them into like my zealous knights overnight. But like, I think, yeah.
I think you already succeeded on a test to convert some of these people.
Yeah, you did.
I did, yeah. So like, I'm trying to go the next step. But I think like I'm trying to convince them to start seeing themselves as, like knights of. I'm trying to start to convince them to see themselves as servants of Abadar. I'm not like knighting them and like recreating this order, but
Question.
I'm like
not yet. But okay.
Servants of Abadar or servants of you?
Servants of the prophet of Abadar, Father Demetrius.
Okay.
And I think I also want to say that I'm specifically using when I talk to them, I'm specifically referring to myself as a prophet, which I don't think I've done before.
Okay. Shit. All right.
Okay, so I will roll suasion.
What's the failure consequence?
That they don't believe my bullshit.
Big consequence of failure is that some people are not going to be okay with you doing this. They're going to tell you to stop. Don't train these guys. Don't and that kind of stuff.
I would like to say a brief prayer in accordance with this role to open end my suasion, which is an obtu boon.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if I can do that first.
Roll your faith. The failure of this would be that it empowers your enemies, right? Or makes it more difficult.
Gotta have faith.
Gotta have faith.
Oh, whoops! Man, I always
gotta go fast. Gotta go fast.
There's obstacle 2. Oh my god! Any
Dude,
sixes?
what the fuck, man? You were the least religious person I've ever met.
Oh, man.
So about that removing.
Oh
face-
wait, hold on. I can re-roll because it's already open-ended. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
re-roll the die.
You can reroll it straight up.
Come on. Nope.
Oh my god.
Alas. Poor
All
you.
That's
right, so-
incredible.
It's not
Alright.
other people you should be questioning are the chosen one of Abadar. It's whether you're a prophet.
So what? Do I
miracles
just
don't
convert half
happen
of them to Gorum accidentally? Is that what happens?
Um,
Like just
so-
wander through?
I'm guessing that's gonna be a plus ob for my roll here now.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Actually, I feel a lot more, relatable to Gorum.
So
He gave that ring back. Hey guys, let's be Gorumites.
I'm
So
not really
it's-
sure I'm into civilization, I'm more like of an anarchist.
So what's the ob now?
I mean, it should be probably you failed by 1, so I assume 4, right?
Okay.
I feel like the
seems fair.
difference, the differential between success and failure would have been the increasing of the obstacle of the same amount.
That seems
That's how link test would add one.
Exactly. I was treating it like a link test. Yeah. Spoilers.
All
That's
right.
what I was doing right there.
So I've got suasion, I've got religious history, I've got oratory, I've got Abadar wise.
How did religious history apply? Or have you role played
The whole telling the stories about.
Right.
So that's 3, and probably doctrine for 4. Cool.
Yeah, I could see. I mean, you're kind of training the. So because this is less like about the actual military training and more about the religious training. So like doctrine
Yeah,
for
no,
sure,
yeah, I'm
Abadar, yeah.
okay, I don't need to spend Arth on this just yet. Base out 4. Alrighty. I'll still spend the fate just because I have buckets of it.
Yeah, but what mysterious thing goes wrong because he botched a miracle?
That was the plus ob.
Yeah,
Oh,
they made it
that's
more
it.
difficult.
His tongue didn't fall out of his face?
No, he didn't get leprosy. Nothing.
I
I
want
need
my
to
crossbow
get
back.
better at faith.
Okay.
Cool.
I guess they're are you giving them anything that represents them like working with you? Is there like anything that they wear? Is there anything that they do? Like do they like shave their heads or like is there some sort of like physical representation of their allegiance to you? Is what I'm trying to get at. Because I think you earned it. You earned it with that. If that's true. If it's not, if it's just verbal, then that's true too, right?
I don't think I give it to them, but I think they start wearing keys of Abadar. Like they just like start wearing like in the same way people
Made
would
of
wear like
wood.
a cross. Yeah,
They
you'd
carve.
wear,
They
like-
carve them.
Yeah, exactly. Carved like wooden keys.
Yeah. Okay. So these guys are wearing keys now.
Cool.
So that's the big talk of the town. Just everyone knows that you did this, right? You can't hide it. That's not a consequence of failure. That's just a consequence, right? Like it's really hard for you to avoid you training them.
All the bandits are now good, faithful people.
Yeah. So like people are talking about it and such, right? Wow, you've been spending a lot of time with those guys, reforming them, kind of stuff, right? And some people are saying it's a little weird. You know what I mean?
Sure.
They're kind of expecting Count Swan or Onin to kind of step in and say something about it, right?
Don't worry,
So-
I still have that duel of wits with Oleg.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Last
So-
4 episodes.
Yeah,
Anyone
right.
else?
All right. Do we actually want to do that? Do you want to jump over to that?
I'd love to, but first I need to deliver that letter I wrote to Bishop Solstend to him.
Oh, okay. So wait, you're gonna hand me a letter and then turn around and walk away instead of just telling it to me?
I mean, I assume that on the way to the Duel of Wits, as the MC is hyping up the crowd at the microphone, I meet you backstage, which I assume is a hallway somewhere in Oleg's trading post, and I hand you a letter and I say, Bishop Solstend, I didn't expect you. My understanding was that you would remain at the fort, but here you go. I
I've
wrote this for you.
Oh, excellent.
Oh Jesus, dude, that's not.
I'll stand there and wait for you to get done with it.
Okay.
Can
Two vicious souls for the.
you read it out loud? And like, I might figure out a way to like, I don't know. I should write a text.
Here we go. Let me put on my reading glasses. To Bishop Solstand, I understand you intend to keep that. Your distance from Oleg's and limited manpower prevents quick reinforcement or even knowledge that you need reinforcements. If you get into trouble, you will have no one to send to us. Much as I'm sure it would pain us both, it would be wiser for you to return for the time being until your religious reinforcements arrive. Congratulations on liberating Svetlana's ring. I hope the cash included in this letter here is enough to cover your expenses. Just something I had in my pockets. A few promissory notes. I understand I owe you a suit of armor. My intention was always to offer the winner a fund instead, that they might be set for life, or at least for some time. I've done this in the past, and most are wise enough to accept. I suspect supplying your own men, rebuilding, and maintaining a fortress is well beyond your current means. Might I tempt you into taking a steady supply of material from assets in your name secured by the Ruby Palace instead of a bit of tin to keep your privates safe? In the end, you'll get what you want and what you deserve, I suspect, so I await your reply. I find myself analyzing your curious actions. When we arrived, I spoke of peace and perhaps turning the bandits to our side, not killing them. You were prepared to murder the lot before you were confirmed that anyone had actually committed banditry, simply taking the word of Oleg. Yet now I hear you've killed none of the bandits and brought half back in tow and allowed the other half to leave with a giant pile of treasure. You're becoming more like me than you realize, I think. If you want to maintain a border fortress at the edge of the world, you might need some of the skills I have. Can give lessons if you require. Interested to know what you talked to my sister about. Ronald Swan of House Swan, His Eminence, chosen of Abadar, he who will defend the wall against the end of the world, patron of the arts and industry, commander of the Greenbelt Irregular Militia, sword of the Stolen Lands.
A little bit of blood trickles down Nonan's nose.
And at the bottom of the page, there's a drawing of a microphone lying on the ground.
So you said that you sat there and waited for me to finish reading it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he just sat
I
there.
probably like sat back on my heels with my hands behind my back, just kind of like because as I mentioned, I await your reply.
So I like pocket the letter, like fold it up nice, pocket it. I say, yeah, a fund will be fine. I don't wasn't quite in it for the reward, you see. And your sister hates her guts and thinks that I'm the chosen of Abadar.
That's fine.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm afraid religious duty compels me to keep my post or my men posted at the temple. I will be returning there. I had minor business to attend to here.
As I mentioned, there will be no way to send you reinforcements if you're trapped.
I understand that.
All right. Determined to go to leave unless you have something else to say.
Swan.
Yes.
Mason has brought up the logical point that we should not be so adversarial to each other.
Mason is very close to being thrown in the nearest fire for witchcraft.
I'll make sure he's aware of your position on that matter. Don't you think that with all of the things behind us, we could agree to a mutual respect and put our petty squabble behind us?
Absolutely. Have a good day, Bishop Solstand.
You too, Count Ronald Swan.
What are you looking
want.
for?
Could someone take note here that I think wreckage is up for Moldbreaker?
Right?
If he continues this, if this isn't just
just wait until he steps back and challenges me to a duel, and I have to summon Sir Robert Strong to fight on my back.
well, just wait until your instinct that is, do not respect me.
I mean, that it's not that to respect you, it's to ignore your begging for equal status, which is exactly what I just did. You're like, we should be mutual respect, and I'm like, sure, whatever.
Yeah. So he kind of dismisses it. Like, it doesn't seem like he gives it a full thought of your attention there.
I'm certainly not denigrating it, and I'm not arguing it. I'm just walking away. I'm owning it.
All right, so let's go have this speech.
So you're gonna
we've got cabinet battle number 1 here.
Okay.
I would suggest if we're going to do a duel of wits with one person and an NPC that we use not a big deal rules.
I was actually going to ask if Father Demetrius wanted to help speak by my side for some helping die for me.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. But either way,
listen. My
be
initial
nice.
plan for this episode
Must be
had Mason at my
nice.
side and having the 2 of you tag in for me, but no, Mason has burned that bridge and then sent the ashes to a factory to be remade into ceramic plates, which I then smashed with a hammer.
I will gladly be at your side. In fact, I insist on being by your side.
No, you can wait in the crowd
Exactly. By your side in the crowd.
with the peasants.
Yes. Where I belong.
I'm doing that thing where, like, I imagine Swans at the battlements, the people are assembled in the opening, and then, like, Oleg's house is in the back, and I'm, shoulders crossed, leaning on the back of the trading post wall, because I'm certainly not speaking by his side.
That's good. I'd be really worried if I had you by my side for a duel of wits.
Oh.
Just kidding. I think you actually put a bunch of points into persuasion, right?
Yeah, my persuasion's pretty big these days, actually.
What's it up to? 3?
It's not about the size, it's how you use it.
Well, yeah, it's also the forking. I managed to roll, 7 dice for that persuasion with Oleg. But, it was persuading him about Gorimism and fighting and,
All right. So let's talk about our duel of wits here. So it's going to be between Oleg and Count Ronald. And this is going to be about the future of Oleg's fort, right?
Where is this taking place?
Yeah, where is this?
I really like the idea of the battlements. All the epic speeches take place there. Everybody's in the courtyard below, all the hunters who are being trained, all the guards. As mentioned, I asked Oleg to summon countrymen for himself, like people from the surrounding area, influential people who could come and observe it.
Sure, there's basically nobody, but okay.
There's a crowd.
My believers.
Okay.
Hopefully there's exactly enough people to allow oratory at some point.
Oh yeah, no, there's
Have the
enough,
people,
there's
like-
not, no oratory will be a part of this. Although
So if Demetrius is there with his flock, are the 2 separate crowds of the people who don't want to
I
associate
assume
with
there's a shit ton of factions in there. It's like
yeah, there's a lot of factions
standing
around.
together.
I think I want to pray again before this goes down.
I think if there's a shit ton of
Pretty
factions, then
Let me grab my book real quick.
sure. If there's a shit ton of factions, Mason will symbolically position themselves centrally, as if no, I refuse to be part of this shit. I want you all to stop doing this bullshit.
So I heard about this company that was attempting to unify all the different types of protocols for internet services, and all they managed to do is make a new protocol for internet services.
There's
Yeah.
an XKCD comment about that,
Yeah,
or comic.
there's 13 standards. So
you've
everyone gets
now-
together and makes a new standard. Final
You've
result, there's 14
now
standards.
created a new faction, the Mason faction. In attempting to unify everyone and stand apart, you've only proven how divided we are.
That's exactly what goes down.
Whoa.
Yeah, I wanna.
I tell you that with a
It's a real talk,
significant
right?
PC glance, by the way.
Oh, yeah. You can't not have significant...
I looked down my nose at you.
I've started to ask for skill rolls for significant PC glances that say things.
Well, you should.
Like in a
that was
basic
no
thing.
levels.
In Pathfinder, it's a DC 15 bluff check to pass secret messages through facial expressions.
Wow.
When you sent me that look, I returned to you like a look as if I recently blurted something out that I'm totally not proud of, that I regret, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but also you're a dick.
I would like to pray before this. Oh
my God.
This here.
Y'all fuck him over.
So here's the
praying for who?
I'm praying for Count Swan, but here's the thing: is I'm also asking my flock to pray for Count Swan. And there are 20 of them, and the book says that for every 4 believers, I get an extra faith die.
What?
That's true.
Which is why I've been trying to create a flock this entire time.
Big religious sermons have a higher impact, especially when led by a miracle worker.
So there's a group of you fucking in a circle. Now, how do Abadarians pray right now?
Yeah. So I think
assume it's a faith circle, but I don't know if it's something special.
Well, it's like pretty simple, but like because it's me and like the people, and we see like Count Swan like going out to talk to Oleg in front of the group, and I say to my flock, I say, pray with me, my brothers and sisters, for the chosen of Abadar must be victorious in this endeavor.
What if he's not the chosen of Abadar? No, I'm kidding.
I think like I think they probably all like take a knee as like I am like head bowed, like saying, you know, some line of religious doctrine. It's probably quite obvious and quite a sight to be seen, to be completely honest. But yeah, I think I just want to do the Ob3 blessing, which will give him a +1 to his persuasion for the remainder of the scene. Okay. And I'm going to be throwing an extra 5 dice for these 20 people.
So be aware that these people do not have the faithful trait like you do. They're not miracle workers. Consequently, it's +1 helping die for every 20 points of will dice between them.
Oh, for every 20 points of will dice. I thought it was for every 4 of them.
That is significantly different and more fair.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So you get 1 extra die.
Yeah, okay, so every 20 points of... So there are 20 of them, though. They don't each have 1 will.
But
if all of them have 3 will, then it would
then
be...
it's 3 dice.
Oh, then, yeah, sorry. Yep.
Okay, so 3 dice. It's the Ob3. If I fail this is like...
Oleg gets superpowered.
You would say that it's meant to be.
Okay, there we go. I will spend the fate to reroll, but I'm not going to actually reroll because it doesn't matter. So you get a +1 ongoing for the scene. And there is an unexpected effect involved as well. Eric, do you want to make that up, or do you want me to make that up?
You make it up.
I think as like we probably won't notice it like in character until like the Duel of Wits actually starts. But I think as Count Swan is speaking, like I think there should be like some effect with like coins around him. Like there's like sort of just like the sound of clinking coins is just like can be heard subtly in the background of his arguments.
Honestly, I'd really much rather have instant rap air horns.
The sound of mic drops at the end of each poignant phrase. If a mic drops and no one hears it, doesn't make sense.
And maybe like everybody in the surrounding area, when they look in their purses later on, they find their sort of like old, like, you know, dulled out coins to be shiny and almost like they're newly minted.
Badass.
I like that one really a lot better. The like fresh coins.
Okay, well we'll go with that then.
That will stick in the minds of the people who like coins, which is most people.
These were so valuable. They were centuries old, and now they look like they're new. They're
You
fuck.
ruined everything.
God damn
All right.
it.
They don't look authentic anymore.
Yeah. All right then. So we're doing the short version, right?
Not a big deal. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would
I mean,
roll.
if you think this isn't a big deal, sure.
So you-
I guess my body of argument is 5.
Well, no, for not a big deal, you roll your persuasion for your body of argument.
It says not a big deal. Use only the will exponent as your body argument.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Theirs is 3.
Okay. Well, then this is going to end very quickly.
Yep.
One way or another.
Script.
So
let's
you're
write
joining
our
me
body
here.
of arguments here.
Yeah, I'm standing, in close enough to lend aid to your cause.
So I think the Swords of the Stolen Lands. Mission is over. And now they must be gone.
Cool.
So the idea is that that he begrudged. You guys have worked so hard. Like you convinced him enough that we're gonna be here. We're gonna get this thing set up. We're gonna get these bandits taken care of. We've even recovered your wife's ring. Everything's successful.
Is there some sort of negative
you still
modifier to the fact that we promised to leave?
No, but it could be an argument of his.
Okay.
Yep.
What is Swan's statement of purpose?
My statement of purpose is accept Count Swan as the de facto ruler during this period of transition while we get the area reintegrated into Brevoyan society.
Jesus.
Right.
Yeah. You administer this place like on behalf of the crown. That's totally doable.
That is until I get it assigned to me on a more permanent basis, of course. But that's another argument for an entirely different court.
All right. So I need to deal you some cards.
You do. And I would love to open with my famous opening tactic, performing a point. Father Demetrius, what are you thinking about?
I agree.
We have to alternate, right? We have to be like, do.
I thought it was you doing the duel of wits and I was helping.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sure. If you want to step in and help me. Yeah.
I think that's how we should do it.
Okay.
Joannian points out something in chat. With this statement of purpose, it does no longer feel like not a big deal.
This doesn't feel like not a big deal.
Yeah, it has become it was a
literally
big
just
deal
said,
right, but now it's about GTFO versus I am your Lord and Savior.
Whoa.
I don't
I mean,
think he said
I am
savior.
here to save them, but I don't know if I'd use the terminology savior.
Point taken. Lord and Master.
We can use,
There we go. That's a good one.
we don't have to use not a big deal, but it'll take a lot longer if we don't.
Yeah, I think we should just play it with. It's
Uh,
not a big deal.
But I mean, it sounds like it's a big deal. It sounds like the stakes are a huge deal. I can go get a sandwich.
There's
I
a
don't
belief
care that
on
I'm
the
not
line.
playing.
That's fair, right?
I think like
You want to
like
do it?
standard.
Fuck it, let's do it then.
I mean, I have 2 beliefs on the line, actually, because I'm responsible to the people.
All right, let's roll our.
It's the
will-
top
let's
of the
roll
hour.
our-
Do we want to go to break and then do it?
No. Let's get everything set up, and then we can, when we're ready to volley,
Okay.
we'll take a break.
Okie doke.
So let's let's make it not a big deal. So then we
Not a-
actually roll our persuasions, and then we add that to
Okay.
our will, or will we roll our most confident social? Right?
I mean,
Or-
for me, that's persuasion.
yeah.
Can I help on this?
Oratory.
Why are you rolling D20s, bro?
What?
All sorts of D20s are just showing up on the 3D dice.
What?
I am not seeing anything.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
not
seeing
seeing
an
that at all.
unlimited chain of them. They just keep rolling. My whole screen is filled with 20s right now.
Is it like you just won like D&D solitaire? Like you just keep
Yeah.
filling-
I'm sorry,
no.
I didn't add an aid die in there, and I definitely want a fate. Can I do that? Can you
Yeah.
fate on rolling body of argument?
Did you remember to
Svetlana's-
include the extra die?
No, I didn't.
You can definitely fate on body of argument.
All right.
So
well,
can
I'm definitely going
so
to.
other NPCs can help him here though, right? Just how other people can help you. Does that get factored in as
There
help
is-
dice for the body of argument?
Here's the thing, right? So Duel of Wits, as designed, is meant to, like, for example, simulate a courtroom debate where an envoy comes to the court and like addresses the king or his advisor and so on.
Sure.
And from that perspective, I feel like showering like one side with like 20 dice for having like the court on their side to begin with is probably not what the game intends. But maybe like one or two like significant people like lending their voice would be suitable.
Okay. That's
Oleg
what.
and Svetlana, maybe.
Well, Svetlana and Sir Keston actually are
Sir
two.
Keston's gonna go against me.
Yeah.
Literally pay his fucking salary.
Yeah, he's gonna argue that he's gonna argue that your presence isn't necessary, but like, you know, it's just that he's like, yeah, you trained us well, and we can guard here for you, right? It's gonna be fun.
Right,
you don't have to be here.
He'll be on my side soon enough.
I'm going to throw my argument for Swan. This place needs like unified rulership because it's seen like all of the like these three guys here and all the trouble they've caused is because not one of them is in charge.
Yes, I am helping with civilization-wise because I'm going to say over history we have seen that no great civilization can rise without consolidated power under a great ruler.
I turn towards you and I'm just like, yeah.
He speaks truly. Non-unified rulership has only brought harm to the people it sought to rule.
2 help dice and 2 fate dice. I managed to bring myself up to 8 body of argument, which actually is not very good.
Yeah, considering how much persuasion dice you have, it's really
All right.
not.
Wow. Well, I have 5, so motherfucker. Getting all those
I'm
bad
just
dice out
trying
of the
to
way.
get as many different tests as I can throughout this body of art.
All right. So that's our body of. Can you write your statement of purpose? So we're getting ready to go to our
did.
break.
I
Our
did
next
write
break.
It's on the table.
Can you take us to that screen?
We're on Oleg's trading post. You're on someplace
Ah,
else.
shit, that's what's going on. I'm sorry, fellas.
Yay!
Would you mind?
What?
I forgot to drag you guys over to the screen.
Can you go copy my statement of purpose and post it over here?
Probably.
Oh no.
Do it.
All right, and what's my secret technique? If I interrupt him while he's speaking, I get bonus dice or some shit.
If you
Rapier wit. That's what it's called.
Yeah, rapier wit. If he says something and you can like just cut him like straight to the bone, you can deliver a bon mot. Then you take.
That's right. It's a searing bon mot or something. Let me pull this one up. It's gonna be super dank. Never not bon motting. I don't know what it means.
Okay.
So
Cool.
It's French for like I don't speak French, so I'm butchering this, but it's like for like hitting the nail on the head.
I mean, it sounds like it's French for get wrecked.
Yeah, it's for Mike Trub. Okay, so all right, we have our body of arguments. We have the number of dice. Oh, you have 8 dice. Let me put down 8 for you. Okay, and we're going to our first break, and then we'll come back and do our first set of volleys, which hopefully will wrap up everything, but we'll see. So we'll be back, guys, in 5 minutes.